We will take the header and the footer in little chunks so that we can build it out nicely, look at what is available to us and how to work with it. Scroll to the very top. Let's talk about what's currently happening. In module 1, I showed you how to deactivate the header and the footer because we were building out a one-pager and we were using jump links on the page. We didn't need the header and the footer. Here I left the header and the footer. At the top we have the header. We see there's a logo, that's the Divi logo. And then on the right, we have a menu which contains all the pages that we've created. So it's not really a menu, it hasn't been created. Themes just usually populate here with the pages that have been already created. And then we have a search element. Scroll down, you can see it's a sticky header. And we go all the way to the bottom and we have this footer here, archives, which is linking to our posts and categories. And we have another bar here at the bottom that says designed by Elegant Themes powered by WordPress. I'll touch on this one again. We did cover it in module 1. What is very important to understand about this header and footer, it's created with the Divi theme, Elegant Themes theme. It is not created with the Divi builder. What does that mean, JP? Let's save, go to exit and select dashboard. And we are back here within WordPress. The way that it often works in WordPress and most of the times is that when you are working with a theme, headers and footers are usually controlled from the theme. Divi started out as a theme and the Divi builder supported the theme. When we installed Divi, go to Appearance, we also installed it as a theme. That means that under Appearance, you're going to see the option to customize. When you select Customize, it takes you into the Theme Customizer, which we are all familiar with. Select Header and Navigation, Header Format, and that's what you have here at the top. Not much you can do here. You have a few other options. You can add a primary, secondary bar. Same here for the footer. You can see we have the layout, and that's what we have here at the bottom. These two, this one here at the bottom, this footer, and this header here at the top, they are from the theme. What did I tell you though way back in module 1? And I'll exit here without saving. Divi is moving away from the theme. Even though this header and footer that we see here on our page comes from the theme, we are not going to be using them. We're never going to touch the customizer. You saw me never touch it in module 1, and you didn't see me touch it here in module 2. We didn't make any changes. When you are looking at tutorials online, many people will still recommend that you set your fonts and you set some stuff in the theme. You just shouldn't. The future is that Divi 5 or maybe even Divi 6 will be totally themeless, similar to other builders on the market like Breakdance, Bricks. We say themeless, but they don't connect to a theme that works outside of the builder. Everything is integrated in one spot. That makes it a little bit difficult to get your head around. The header and footer that you build out your page does not happen within the theme. It happens here. Navigation sidebar on the left, hover over Divi and select Theme Builder. That's where we start off with. What we did in module 1 is we simply selected these little icons here to disable them. We have here the default website template, and this is all we'll be doing for our current setup. There is a global header, global footer, and a global body. Observe that currently it says add. There is none. Once I select add global header and I save my work here, the header of the theme, this one here, will be disabled. And this header that we'll be creating here within the Divi builder will override this one. I'm not sure what is the terminology, disable, override, replace, but the bottom line is that by default, when we work within Divi, we get the header and the footer from the theme. We will not be using them. We use the header and footer from the theme builder. And there are many reasons why this is important. The first reason is that you can build out the header with the Divi builder. This one you cannot. You are limited to what the theme can do. The second reason is that you can create multiple headers and footers. So for your posts, your WooCommerce, or any other page, you can create different setups. Again, with the theme, you cannot. I want to warn you though, that being in this process of transitioning, there are many things here that feel sometimes a little bit overcomplicated or hidden, or you're going to run every now and again into something that you think should just be so natural, and it isn't that natural. I do believe, I've said it a few times now, that this will be sorted out. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have believed that Divi could make this better, but what the Divi team has been doing in the last year and a half, I really see the progress in trying to make this better. But there are so many areas, so patience is required. And one of these areas that I hope that they can really clean up, number one. Number two, simplify, is the theme builder, the header, and the footer. Now let's talk about the header. We start with the header. And the first thing we do is click on Add Global Header. No, not add from library. We do it from scratch in Divi 5. Build Global Header. Yeah, let's go ahead and finally select on this. And what it's going to do is it opens up this page for you, which is the Divi builder. And all we do from here is we build out the header that we have in mind. Like before, hover here at the top, open the layers panel, and we see we have a header. So this is going to be the main template, and this one you won't be able to delete, because with the header comes certain features that Divi must recognize, and that's why it is called header here at the top. We will always have a section here, and remember, in that section you always have a row and then you have a column. Select that, go for equal columns, and let's have a look what's happening on the page. As predicted, now we have the header at the top. Inside that is our section, the blue box. Then we have our row, and then that obligatory column that we need. Add our menu. Go to the middle, click on Add New Module or Row, and search for Menu. And we get this here menu. It populates with this menu, but what is important to understand about this menu over here? And that is, this is not actually a real menu. It is just a placeholder that WordPress give us. You can see even there are 2 homes, and that they are not in the order we want. And for that, we need to create our menu. What we do first, let's leave everything as is. Let's click on Save. Then we select Exit. What has changed here? Now we have this green box. It says Global Header, and we see our little pencil over here, and it shows us that we've added this global header. With my tab open on the right, I will refresh this page. But what's going on here? And this again is that little sneaky thing that Divi does to me that catches me off guard every waking moment when I'm working within it. Go back to our theme builder. And what do you spot there in the top left? Save Changes. Once I select Save Changes, let's go to the front again, refresh. Now our theme builder, this one here, has replaced the Divi theme header with the one that we are working with. This is where we start. I want to show you how we create it, and very important that you have to save it once you have done that. Before we create the menu, let's go back to the front end and select here Edit with Divi. Something incredible is now going to happen right within the Divi builder. At the very top, we can see the new header. Hover over it and look at that. Select it. Let's open up the Layers panel and look at this. The header appears here. Our page now has its own drop-down. And what this means, I can go ahead now and edit this header while I'm working on the page. This is actually a very recent introduction into Divi. Previously, we can only do that by editing it from here. This is the option, but because we want to stay on the page, in future, once we have created the header within the theme builder, we are just going to style and work with it right within the builder. How awesome is that? Next short video, we'll just create the WordPress menu.